Do you want to start teaching your young child the Quran in your homeschool so they can eventually read the Quran, but you have no idea how to start and feel very overwhelmed? In this video, I show you exactly the framework I used to teach each of my kids how to read the Quran through learning the Qaida and and also start memorizing the Quran so they have a lifelong connection. If you are interested in that, make sure you stay tuned. Hi friend, my name is Iman, and on this channel, I help Muslim moms homeschool with confidence and joy while having routines and systems to keep up with their home duties and without sacrificing themselves on this journey through prioritizing self-care. So starting to teach your young child the Quran and how to read the Quran is the best investment of your time that you will ever make. And it can be fun too. As homeschoolers, we have the flexibility to focus on the subjects that are important to us as Muslim homeschoolers. And learning the Quran and how to read the Quran through the Qaida and are very important subjects we want our kids to learn as early as possible. So this is why I always focus on these two subjects in my homeschool for my young homeschoolers. Because if you can start young teaching these subjects, it will help your child progress faster and balance it better with other subjects that they have to do as they get older in their homeschool schedule. The way I teach Quran and Qaida and is fun, easy, and a gentle approach. When they are young, this learning is such a small part of their day. And then they have the rest of the day to enjoy, to play, to read books. The biggest thing for you as a mom is to be consistent in teaching these subjects every day in your homeschool. And this is how you will see progress in your child. This framework I'm about to teach you, you can start as young as 2 years old. So I'll be giving you tips on what to teach and how to teach based on their age. But if you're watching this video and your child is already 4 or 5 years old, like they're older and they don't know the basics at all yet, then I would recommend starting from the first step and moving them through the steps faster, which they can do because you are starting this framework with them when they are older. Okay, let's get into it. Step 1 in the framework is when they are 2 years old. So at this age, it's very important to put the Quran on when they are playing. So every time that it's playtime in your homeschool, put the Quran on loud on the TV or on your phone or just somewhere close by that they can hear the Quran while they are playing. This will allow the Quran to enter their ears, and even though they are playing, they are still absorbing the Quran through their ears. And so they're starting to recognize the words and how the Quran sounds. And so the more you do this, you see that your child will start recognizing what the Quran is. If the Quran is playing from someone's phone or it's maybe someone's TV, they will look at it and they will start to recognize it because they are used to hearing it. It will start building the connection of them slowly starting to love the Quran and enjoy listening to it. So a tip for this is if you do forget, just set a timer on your phone every day when it's your playtime to ring to remind you to turn on the Quran. I know this seems such a small thing to do, but it will truly make an impact on your young child's brain and their connection to the Quran as they get older and they're learning more about the Quran. So if you want to start your own Muslim homeschool or always thought about homeschooling and just didn't know how to do it, make sure you grab my free guide down below in the description box and it will help you out. Step 2 in the framework is when they are age 3. So this is the age where you start teaching the Arabic letters through games. So to do this, you have to be very intentional on the games that you buy for your child to teach them the Arabic letters and sounds. So whenever you are out and about at the Muslim markets and maybe the Ramadan or the Eid markets, be very intentional in looking for games or cards that have the Arabic letters and buy those to use for your homeschool. So for example, I recently bought these magnets of Arabic letters from a market just for my intention to use to teach my young child Arabic letters. So this is one of the letters, Tha and Ain. So what I do is I have a board. Sorry, this is my son's all about reading curriculum, but I use a board and I put the Arabic letters on there and I make it a game out of it. So I say the letter name or the sound and they find which letter it is. And it's just so fun teaching your kids the Arabic letter this way, like meaning through games, because it's fun, they enjoy it, and they actually pick up the Arabic letters and sound faster. So another activity that I bought for my kids, and this is through an Etsy shop, is I got the letters, the Arabic letters from the shop. And what I do is I hide the letter in my house, somewhere in my house. And I just tell them to find the letter, for example, ta, somewhere in the house, and the child has to look around. Or you can put the letters on the wall and tell the child to go hit the letter that you say. So there are so many ways you can teach your child the Arabic letter and sounds through games and activities. And the other thing here is my friend actually made this for her own child, and she sent it to me to print. And it's literally a bingo board game of all the letters. And once your child knows all the letters and they're comfortable, play a bingo game with them. It just takes 10-15 minutes a day to play games with your child, to teach them the Arabic letters and sounds, and they pick it up so fast. Another tip I want to mention is when you are teaching the letter recognition and sounds at this stage, make sure you teach them how the letter looks and the sound out of order, okay? Most kids, when they see alif, ba, ta, they literally just memorize that, and they don't actually know what alif looks like and what ba looks like. So teach your child how the letters look and the sound of the letters out of order, so they can recognize the letter even if it's not in the order that it normally is. Okay, now we go into step 3 of the framework, and this is for children that are between 4 to 5 years old. So this is the age range of a preschooler and a kindergartner. And this is the actual age where you actually sit down and you do your Qaida Nuraniya lessons with them, and they start memorizing the short surahs in the Quran. So it's very important that you have to make time for this and be consistent in doing this every day with your 4 to 5 year old. And for me, in my homeschool, this is the only 2 subjects that I focus on when I have a preschooler and a kindergartner. I do not do any book work or any other subjects until my child reaches 6 years. And this is exactly what I teach in my workshops as well. And if you are interested in learning how to homeschool your Muslim preschooler and kindergartner, and you want to focus on the Quran, make sure you check out this video in the cards. Once I've created and I edit it, I'll post it up here. So at this age, when they are between 4 to 5 year olds, they are so curious. Their minds are always working. They're always questioning how the world works. So this is the perfect age to start molding their hearts and mind and start connecting it to God. And so with focusing on Quran memorization and starting the Qaida Nuraniya lessons, you are prioritizing what is important to your child. So at this age, I truly recommend on focusing on your 10 to 15 minute lessons of your Qaida Nuraniya and then memorizing the short surahs of the Quran. And this doesn't take that long at all. And so you have the rest of the day. And I truly recommend focusing on reading lots of books with your preschooler and kindergartner, playing lots, having conversation lots about God, about our purpose of our life, about also stories of the prophets, and start molding their hearts and their mind and connect it to God. Building the love of God and the connection to God at this age is critical. And the love of our Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, is critical at this age. And because you are focusing on Qaida Nuraniya and Quran and then doing all the extra stuff with them as well, you have a lot of time to do this with your young child. And they can be learning so much even without doing any book work. So I recommend, if you're homeschooling a 4 to 5 year old, to write down every day 3 to 4 things you want to do with your child. And the 2 top things is Quran, memorizing the short surahs, and doing your Qaida Nuraniya lessons. The other 3rd or 4th item can be reading books, playing outside, conversations. It could be any of that. Just choose 4 things you'll focus every day, and that will help you keep you on track and feel like you've accomplished on actually teaching your child something that day, which they're always learning. I know as a mom, you want to feel like your child has accomplished something. So this tip really helps doing that, because they are not doing book work and you can't actually see the work done. And so this is the Qaida Nuraniya book that I use, that my friend gifted to me. And you can get the Nuraniya book anywhere online or even your local masjid. It doesn't have to be this brand. It just has to be the Qaida Nuraniya. And if I can find this on Amazon, I'll link it in my storefront down below in the description. Another tip I have is to use a timer for your Qaida lessons. So whenever we're doing a Qaida Nuraniya lessons, I do it for 15 minutes every day. I put a timer. My child knows that when that timer rings, their lesson is done. So this really helps with consistency and getting your child to focus for that lesson. Another tip is to start your lessons with your preschooler and your kindergartner around the same time every day. That will give them a routine for them to start expecting the school, and they'll be starting their Quran and Qaida soon. For example, in my homeschool, we always start our homeschool right after breakfast, and we always start with our Qaida Nuraniya and our Quran. Another tip is when you are doing your Qaida lessons, let your child move around. As long as their bum is on the ground and they can see the book, let them move their hands and their legs and their body, and that actually gives them more focus when you're able to let them move around. And this is especially important for boys. And because we are homeschooling, we have the ability to teach our child and our children the way that fits them. So take advantage of that and let your child move even when they are doing their lessons, as long as they're focusing. Another tip for memorizing the short surahs in the Quran is getting your child to listen to the Quran before they start repeating it to you. This also helps you balance multiple kids that are doing their Qaida Nuraniya or Quran. One child can listen to the Quran, and then you can do the Nuraniya or the Quran with the other child. So it helps you balance multiple kids. And so I would love to hear from you. Let me know in the comments, what age did you start teaching your child the Qaida Nuraniya? And what age did they start memorizing Quran as well? I would love to hear from you. So step number 4 of the framework is when your child is 6 years and older. So this is the age when your child is doing more book work, because they would be in grade 1 or older. So they will be doing their other core subjects with Quran and Qaida Nuraniya every day. Also, you might have a child by this age be done the Qaida Nuraniya, know how to read the Quran, and they're just focused on reading the Quran and memorizing and reviewing the Quran. So this is the age when your child is starting to do book work because they are in grade 1 or older. At this age, we start teaching them the core subjects. In our Muslim homeschool, Quran and Qaida Nuraniya is one of our core subjects. Reading, writing, and math, which are 5 subjects that we focus on every day. I truly advise you to make the Quran the pillar of your homeschool. Just like we have to eat every day and we have to sleep every day to survive and to keep us healthy, reading Quran every day and opening the book of Allah will keep our hearts strong. And that's another nourishment that we need to keep us strong. So it's very important to teach our kids the importance of opening the book of Allah, the Quran, every day and reading it every day. And we prioritize that as well, just like we do everything else in our homeschool. This way, your child will understand the importance of the Quran and they will keep it a priority in their life even when you're not there. So my tip here is to start your homeschool with the Quran every day through memorizing it and revising it. And make sure you put it in your child's homeschool schedule that they do Quran as the first subject in their homeschool day. As they get older, make sure you give them more independence. Tell them the expectations that you have for them, what they have to memorize, what they will have to revise, what other subjects they have to do that day, and just let them be as independent as they can be. What helps is creating a checklist for them so they know all the subjects that they have to do for that day. Also, hiring a teacher really helps when you have multiple kids that are memorizing Quran and needing help maybe to read the Quran. So having a teacher would help because one child can do it with a teacher while you help the other child with maybe Quran or any other subject in your homeschool. So if you use this framework to teach your young child the Quran, not only will they enjoy it and have fun with it, but it will build a stronger connection between your child and the Quran. And they will have such an amazing relationship with the Quran throughout their whole life, inshallah. So if you have really liked this video, you will really love the next video where you can find free Islamic curriculums to teach your child Islam. If you're interested in that, make sure you check out the video that is linked here.